to midnight, and that means it's a very special day for Craig. If we could just have a moment of niceties or niceness during the storm. It's Craig's birthday, so I hope we all wish him well. And I'm not sure if he can respond at this time. It's a very late hour where he is, but happy birthday to you, Craig. And I'm also joined by the rest of the Skype team, Tropical Storm Nuke, Hank and Adam right now in the room. My name's Nathan Foy, and we're talking Hurricane Matthew, Category 4, imminently making a landfall on Cuba, and it looks like it will get there.
Yeah, I would say so. Looking at latest visible, let me just get the screen share up. Just get zoomed in a little bit more. That's okay. That's a little funny. Here's the eye right here, and it's ominously close. It's hard to tell if that thing's gonna make a landfall. It looks like it's gonna go around.
Do take a look at the radar imagery. I believe part of the eye is overland.
Part of the eye is overland. Okay. Well, that takes a while for me to load, so let me. I don't really want to show the screen share process because it's kind of tedious. So let's get that up. Oh, okay. That took a lot less time than I thought it would. Interesting. And here it is, right here. I think someone else screen sharing it. I thought someone else
they
was.
were, but here we are. The edge of the eye just about reaching the shore. How much of a period of time is that loop there?
It looks.
Oh, pretty quick.
That's less than.
That's why it appears to be moving so slowly.
That's at least 20 minutes. So don't think it's being stalled because
it's not stalling. The satellite imagery that we often look at is over a 7-hour period, and this is a 20-minute period. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is 7 hours. This is 20 minutes. Well, I was about to say 20 hours. This was 20 hours. We'd be talking about a completely different.
That would be awful, yes.
But yeah, that's basically the situation going on right now. That eye. That eye is. I think a new frame just came out. It might. I think it might have. I can't. It's not a new frame, okay. So yeah, that's probably gonna clip the eastern tip of Cuba.
Yeah, I think it will just about make a landfall. By some people disagree, but I call it a landfall when the center of the eye moves overland.
Yeah, that's the technical term for landfall. So, and also during this hour, we should have the update from the NHC.
That's right.
Over Matthew, not over Nicole. Nicole doesn't have any warnings in effect for it, so we won't have an update on Nicole until I believe 3 o'clock UTC. I'm not very good at UTC calculations because reasons. So yeah, that's what's going on with satellite imagery. Matthew currently is a Category 4 with winds of 40 miles an hour and a pressure of 949 millibars. And it's moving a bit quicker than it was. It slowed down by 1 mile an hour during this advisory. Now it's a 9 miles an hour. It's still moving. At least it wasn't nearly stationary like it was near Colombia on Saturday. So if this thing was stationary, we'd be talking about a completely different scenario. But thankfully, that's not the case, thankfully. But this is still a very significant storm, Category 4. The first Category 4 we've seen to make landfall in Haiti since Cleo of 1964. So it's been over 50 years without a Category 4 hurricane make landfall in Haiti. And the last Category 3 to make landfall was 50 years ago, Inez of 1966. So it's been a very long time since we've seen a storm like this actually make a landfall in Haiti. We've seen bad storms in Haiti since then, yes. But, never really a landfalling storm with this magnitude.
Yeah, if you've got any comments or questions, send them in on the comments section of the YouTube page. There it is. Hank's showing it rather nicely. And you can also follow Force 13 on Facebook and Twitter. Search Force 13 all in text. And you can also add Fool 13 on Skype, FOOL13, if you'd like to send me any messages and discuss the storm privately. You may do that. And you can also join the Skype chat rooms that we have from Force 13 as well, if that's your thing. Those are chat rooms that run all the time, not just when we're streaming. Which is the clear difference between those chat rooms, and this one, because this one is only operational when we're actually live. Which we've been live for a whole 27 hours.
Dude,
wow.
And it's not very often we stream for this long. Our record, I believe, is 51. But it's been 27 hours so far, and we're going to be staying on the air for as long as we feel that we're required. And people every time I say this part, people always say stay on the air, so that's what we do, and we will.
Okay, we've been getting a lot of comments asking about U.S. impacts. There's 3 words I have for you. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with the U.S. impacts. We know that this storm is probably going to pass just offshore Florida. If we take a look at the spaghetti models for... oh, that's Nicole, my bad. That thing. Yeah, here are the spaghetti models for Matthew right now, and it looks like a pretty good consensus this thing is going to take that northwest turn due to this building ridge over the western Atlantic. But the question is, how far west does this bridge build? Does a bridge build far enough west that it allows Matthew to make a landfall in the Carolinas, or hopefully not Florida? Or does it stay well enough east that Matthew doesn't make a landfall? But regardless of that, it's still going to be, a very significant storm along the East Coast. Significant storm, at least. Past at least Thursday, we have very little clue of what could happen. One thing we do know is the thing is not going to move out towards Bermuda. That's a very unlikely scenario. Bermuda is like right in this area right here. So it's a very unlikely scenario. These are just some other statistical models. Some models take it out, keep moving. See, some models take it towards Canada. Others actually keep it going into New England. It's just very difficult to say at this point.
I've got to make an apology to Jay Richards, because I've only just noticed his comment to me over Twitter, which was 4 hours ago, almost 3 hours ago, saying, and maybe we've answered the question, but I just couldn't let this lie without directly answering it. Any ETA for Hurricane Matthew landing on Holguin? I'm guessing that's the landfall location now, or is that further west?
Holguin is what I believe. This is Holguin.
It's west, yes. Yeah, well, it's not going to landfall there, but it's going to be closest approach. That's going to be overnight tonight, early hours, or into tomorrow morning.
Yeah, this right here is the area that's going to get the landfall near Punta de Maite.
Yeah, right over there.
Just Rio Seco and Baracoa, a little bit farther west, but due to the counterclockwise rotation, you could have some storm surge going into that bay right there. So yeah, that's basically what's going on there. I don't know, you can see Matthew right there. I don't know what this pin is doing right there.
Random pin.
The random pin. Oh yeah, we were looking up Burke to see where that was from my earlier comment. Yeah, that area shouldn't really be affected. But yeah, past at least the latitude of Miami, we have very little clue of where this thing is going. As I said earlier. But, it's definitely something to watch, okay? If you live in the states of Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and even up into New England and the Mid-Atlantic states, you should definitely keep your eye on the system. Just tune in to National Weather Service, your local National Weather Service office, National Hurricane Center, as well as us here at Force 13. we'll be doing streams periodically, I assume, and this one should be going on for who knows how much longer. I know Nathan's already sleep deprived.
Oh, barely.
Oh yeah. You don't go to bed basically. You do fantastic work. So that's the situation with the whole keeping an eye on Matthew as a storm. Matthew's not the only thing we got going on in the Atlantic right now. We also have this is the Force 13 disaster tracker, newly updated by Jason. You know, he does an amazing job with the technical stuff here at Force 13. Of course, Matthew.
Yeah, he made the graphics that are overlaid on this very stream.
Yes, he's really good indeed. Here's Matthew, which we've been discussing in massive detail. Nicole, we haven't been discussing in as much detail. That formed this morning. Yet another cloud named. I would say this is the sixth cloud that we've had this year.
Oh dear.
Bonnie, Colin, Danielle's looking to drop this.
I think when it comes to it, looking at them all, Colin and maybe Julia were not really tropical storms.
Yeah.
Nicole is borderline.
Nicole, it's got the circulation, and that is way too far zoomed in.
Way too far.
But it's over these last few frames.
Looking better.
It's looking better.
Can't deny it.
It will give it that. So I guess it actually is a legitimate tropical storm now.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I've been pressing the zoom out key on my laptop, and it's not wanting to respond. That's annoying. I'll just refresh the page, or just close the page in general. Let's look at some of the comments. See if there is non-Florida / Carolina / anywhere in the comments. Luke W asks, "Where is Matthew now?" Matthew is
about to make landfall.
Where's the tab? Matthew is right about the new frame came out, and it's right basically at landfall right there. If we take a look at this, the radar loop that was provided.
Is that up to date? Here we go.
I'm refreshing it, and that says, I don't think that's up to date. It's at least no, it's up to date. Never mind.
Yeah, it's up to date. That.
So here's the center of the storm right here. That's very close to a landfall, and at least pretty close to I think it was Rio Seco that I said it was. Let me just double check. To the Rio Seco area, yes. Probably a little bit closer to Huaco and Punta de Masi. These areas in the very eastern tip of Cuba. So yeah, that's the situation there. You could see, you can kind of see that the eye wall to the south of the eye is a bit stronger than the north, which is, I guess, one good thing going in the way for this storm. Because if this was flipped, then there'd be some pretty bad conditions in Cuba. Not saying that there aren't bad conditions, but it'd be worse. So yeah, this is coming out of the Guantanamo Bay area. So that's very useful, and it looks right here. I don't know if this is either because the radar doesn't really reach out this far or what, but it looks like the impacts in Haiti, at least rain-wise, are diminishing. But that's probably because it's too far away from the actual radar center. Looking at visible with Haiti, it's still raining there. It's still pretty bad there. That's not good, obviously. It should begin to clear out tonight. I know I said earlier that the Tiburon Peninsula, that a good at least 6 hours ago, that it's probably begin to clear up in the next several hours. There's a little unexpected burst of convection on the south side, so that was unexpected. But it should clear out at least overnight tonight. So that should be the good news. For the rest of Haiti, it should begin to clear tomorrow, and then we can see what the storm has actually done in the country. And I don't want to think about what has happened on the country to be honest, because who knows what type of damage could be going.
We will know before too long.
Yeah, we should get a pretty good idea of the damage by at least.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't want to put a time on it.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like we could. I said we could have a good idea.
It could be as inaccessible as Vanuatu after Pam.
Oh yeah, true. Or it could be
comparable in a way.
Yeah, possibly.
Infrastructure's poor, communications are probably poor. It's a poor country, and
yeah,
you know, will we ever know what the true extent of the problem, the damages are?
I don't know. That's the unfortunate part. And what's especially, I think a bunch of people are curious about why is Haiti so susceptible to these types of storms. For one, it's a very poor country. The deforestation along the slopes of the mountains have really loosened the soil, so you could get 10 centimeters of rain that can cause landslides. Imagine what a meter of rain can do.
Which is what was predicted and what probably occurred.
Yeah, or maybe around that range, yes. So for you lazy Americans who are too stubborn to... that's about 39 inches, just over that. So yeah, just over a yard of rain, which is incredible, to say the least.
I've never heard that one before. A yard of rain?
To be honest, neither have I.
You said it.
Well, neither have I until I said it. So I guess, yeah, make it first.
Well, let me just, speaking of rain, the latest National Hurricane Center update. Let me tell you what they're predicting rain-wise across everywhere. As soon as I can grab the update, as of the last update from 2 hours ago, they're expecting the following. Rainfall, here we are. Southern Haiti and southwestern Dominican Republic up to 40 inches. That's in total. Eastern Cuba and northwestern Haiti up to 20. Eastern Jamaica 4 to 6 up to 12. The Bahamas 8 to 12 up to 15. The Turks and Caicos Islands 2 to 5 inches up to 8. Northeastern Haiti and the Northern Dominican Republic 1 to 3 up to 5. Western Jamaica 1 to 2 up to 3. The Upper Florida Keys northward to coastal east central Florida 4 to 7 inches. That's 4 to 7, not 47, up to 10 inches. And middle to lower Florida Keys, 1 to 3 inches, isolated up to 5.
Okay. So, yeah, that would basically say that it's going to be a very wet system, especially in the Haiti area, which is probably the worst case scenario, because you get... Name some of the deadliest hurricanes in the Atlantic other than Mitch or Fifi or anything like that. Like storms like Flora, Gordon, and Cleo. Some very deadly storms. Cleo wasn't all that deadly, but Hazel was pretty deadly. And all these storms that made landfall in Haiti. The Dream hurricane of 1935, I believe it was, caused at least 2,000 deaths. And that was
the what hurricane?
The Dream hurricane of 1935. It caused at least 2,000 deaths. I think it was 1935. It was in the 1930s.
Right.
So, yeah, so you could have some weak storms that cause immense devastation. And they don't even have to come close to Haiti. You could have a storm like Gordon of 1994. Didn't come anywhere close to a landfall, but caused nearly 12
years. Hank, you don't have to show us the radar anymore because we've got it here, so that's nice to know. And the storm's eye is partially over land. It's not yet a landfall because the centre of the eye is still offshore, but it's going to happen within the next hour, I should think. Maybe a little bit more.
So yeah, going back to my point, you have storms like Gordon that don't pass anywhere close to it, but still cost 1,200 deaths. Still kind of baffles my mind how that wasn't retired. You could have storms like Hannah of 2008 that also didn't really pass all that close to Haiti. It still caused at least 500 deaths. I'm surprised that wasn't retired either. You could have a storm like Tomas of 2010, that only caused at least 70 deaths, but still, that's still significant for a storm that passes the country after they dealt with the extreme earthquake in January 2010 in Port-au-Prince and really the entire nation of Haiti. They're still recovering from that, believe it or not. That's how huge that thing was. It's probably because it occurred in a less developed country. And if it would have hit in at least Mexico, it probably would have, you get my point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, you don't have to have very strong storms or storms that come near Haiti to cause some pretty bad devastation.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what intensity it's going to be at the next update.
Looking through comments, more and more of asking of U.S. impacts. We don't know. Let's see. I don't want to. I'm not going to answer that question.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's more Cat 6 crap. Anyways.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help when the media start talking about it as well.
Yeah.
Category 6 is a nonsense. You heard it here first.
Makes no sense.
Read out Sparrow's comment there.
Oh, what is Cuba doing to the eye?
More recently.
Okay, well, I'm going to answer that question real quick. It's making the eye more ragged because of land interaction. It's not really doing much to the eye, to be honest, because if it was passing like over the spine, if it was pulling an Ike and moving throughout the entire length of Cuba, then it would be doing some pretty significant stuff to the actual storm. But the storm is not going to be an Ike. Yeah, Sparrow's more recent comment. I have a lot of trees in my neighborhood, and 2 trees stretch over my house. My parents don't have any money to trim them, and the neighbors own the trees. What should I do? First off, if you live in Florida, then where exactly in Florida do you live? If you would comment that would be pretty helpful. But I'll answer your question next, Drew. If you are living in the area that could receive hurricane force winds, I would suggest evacuating the area just in case if a tree branch comes in and it caves into the roof. I wouldn't want to be there when that happens. So it'd probably be best to evacuate. If you can, you can trim the trees. I know you said that you don't really have a whole lot of money to trim them. But if you do, if possible, then I would do that. So I said I would answer Drew's comment next, and I will, if I can find it. Do you think Matthew's track will change in the next 48 hours? It's a pretty good consensus that the thing is going to make a landfall in eastern tip of Cuba, and then move towards the north west. No, I was about to say northeast, northwest. But about the time you get into Thursday night and Friday, it starts to become a little bit more uncertain. This thing will not make a thing will stay offshore the Carolinas, or make a landfall in the Carolinas, or make a landfall in Florida, or just do whatever. It's very hard. It's very hard to tell at this point, just like most October storms. I think I saw another pretty good question. Let's see. Okay. Not really a whole lot of questions. Aaron Green asks, all forecasts originate from NOAA, right? All forecasts originate from the computer models. They predict the forecast track, and the NHC goes off those forecast tracks to make their own cone, which is released to the public. So that's where the tracks come from. Yeah, that's pretty much all the questions. The questions that I can answer. What we haven't done a little bit while we were on the kind of topic of computer models. Let's look at them. Okay, so Western Atlantic. My throat is hurting a lot because I am talking nonstop basically at this point. But I bet Nathan is probably much worse. But anyways, that's besides the point. So yeah, GFS is saying the system will come pretty close to a landfall. Actually, not make a landfall in the U.S. Period, just barely offshore. And kind of does a little bit of a loop and then moves on out to sea with another. Looks like it could be a powerful hurricane in the east.
Goodness.
Yes, it's October. No, it's not Patricia.
And is there anyone else still in this room right now able to talk?
Yes.
I can't see everyone at this point. Who is it? Tropical Storm Nuke.
Me and you, Nuke. Adam has gone on.
So have you been monitoring Florida at all? Any news? Probably not.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been just waiting for some school districts to tweet out some information, whether they're going to cancel or not. My district, OCPS, hasn't said anything since 2 hours ago. I reckon they're going to say something at around 8 o'clock tonight, maybe 11 o'clock.
Okay. ECMWF is saying that the system, that the ridge will build quite far toward the west, far enough for it to do a David. But then after this, it does something quite interesting, if I remember correctly. It does a loop and then makes landfall near Rio Beach. Yeah. That's a weak system, though, so it won't be a hurricane by the time it does that. And then just kind of moves in the Gulf and looks like it just kind of dissipates. That's an interesting solution. The drug model is saying that we have that. Oh my gosh, the voice cracks are getting annoying. That we will have a system move through the Bahamas, a bit further offshore Florida. I think that could be a landfall near Wilmington, North Carolina. I don't know exactly where that is. Let me just check for sure. Oh goodness, what is that little spurt out? That's around this Wilmington area, the Southport. Right there. And then just kind of move on out to sea. With all these models keep Nicole pretty weak, by the way. So I guess that's something of note. And what's the most shocking thing here is that the CMC doesn't really develop any new storms. Oh wait, never mind. That's a shocker. Now Jim is saying that the system will actually make a landfall near Miami, which is okay. That's a pretty massive gap in frames. Okay, I think the 18Z is having a loop. That's a pretty big gap. Yeah. This is 36 hours. That's 90 hours.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So let's go back one run. And yeah, it makes a landfall near Miami. Emerges into the Gulf and makes a landfall pretty close to where Hermine did. Actually,
yeah, actually,
actually very close to where Hermine did.
Exactly the same place.
Excuse the dog in the background. HWRF, aka you know what, has been or if you don't know, God model. I think this is the new run. This is probably the new run, yeah. So it makes a landfall in Nassau, which is not good. Keeps it further offshore Florida, and doesn't go far out enough to see if there's a landfall in the Carolinas or not. I would say, according to the last run, it was saying that it's a bit further offshore, actually. So it might not be a landfall. So I guess that's a solution. So, but the last one was saying we would have a storm make landfall in the Outer Banks. And then skirt Cape Cod, and then might make a landfall in Maine, but that's very far out. Take all this with a grain of salt. Take all of these, everything I'm showing you with a grain of salt, actually. And the GFDL, last but not least, is saying that the storm will move over Andros Island.
Right over.
Make a landfall near Fort Myers, I think.
Not Fort Myers. You're on the wrong side.
Did I say Fort Myers?
Yes.
Oh, good lord. Listen to me.
Nice. West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach. Good lord. And up the Florida Peninsula, I went back one run, and just offshore the Carolinas, but pretty big, still pretty big impacts. Let's see what Recon's doing. We haven't checked. Actually, we haven't checked for quite a while. Actually,
Yeah, what are they doing?
They found a drop of 949 millibars. Actually.
Okay, so maintaining.
Cat 3 winds. I'm surprised how we went that long without looking at Recon. Yeah, so that's what's going on with Matthew. Let's take a quick look at Chabba real quick. We haven't really looked at that in quite a while. Oh my gosh, look how zoomed in that is. Why is it so zoomed in?
Yes.
Yeah, this storm is on its way out, definitely, but still some pretty big impacts occurring in Korea. Uh, can't tell if that's a landfall, if that could be a landfall or not. Past just to the east of Jeju,
Ooh.
or not there.
Ooh,
It's
that's
gonna,
close.
it's gonna be close. Yeah, not over Kyushu as originally thought, but they're still seeing some inclement weather from this. Uh, this is the cone from actually a while ago, so this might not be as reliable. But it's in this area right now, so this is
Yeah.
from.
Oh, that's
It's
from
from.
ages ago.
Yeah, that's from a while ago. Why haven't they updated this? Come on, Levi, get on. Anyways, I'm not gonna criticize Levi for that. Just pointless.
Just like you don't criticize Jason when the website stops working.
I didn't say anything bad about Jason. That's the
Yeah.
fans' room.
No,
That's the fans.
I'm saying, just as you don't criticize Jason when the website fails, it's not actually his fault. It's the automation that's decided to stop automating.
Oh, I said I. Okay, so
No,
here's the
not at
intensity,
all.
guys. Yeah, basically in general down here. So none of the models say Cat 5. I don't know.
For goodness me, what are they on if it's going to be a Cat 4 for 7 days? No, it won't.
Oh my,
It'll probably weaken at least
that's
for next couple days.
That's just poor. But yeah, generally downhill after this, and maybe in about 5 days
You got a huge intensity split there.
Yeah, some models saying a tropical storm at one point at 132. Others saying 150 miles an hour.
So when you see the National Hurricane Center put up major hurricane, well, maybe not, but hurricane later on in their forecast, it could actually be just a tropical storm. Yep, and it could be stronger. Uncertainty is high this time of year.
And speaking of the NHC cone, we should probably look at that real quick. This is from the 5 o'clock advisory. The 8 o'clock should be coming out pretty soon. We won't get a new forecast cone, unfortunately, for...
there might be changes to warnings, however.
Yeah, we will have changes to warnings. We will have a change in intensity.
If necessary.
Movement and position.
If necessary,
so they can confirm if we have had a landfall in Cuba or not.
I don't think we have yet. I hope they don't say that we have, because it hasn't on the radar imagery, which you're looking at here. It's very close, however.
Yeah, that's right there. Radar.
Alright, I'm back.
Hey.
Out there. That's right there. Just up in Cuba. So that's what's going on with the radar. But yes, they really should. I feel like they might want to expand this cone a little bit further. I know they can't really expand it due to technical restraints or something, or this is what their program is. I'm not entirely sure why, but they do have. I'm not gonna. I don't want the comment section is about to explode. I'm sorry, but they do have a major hurricane just off of Florida, on Friday and Thursday night and Friday. So comment sections is about to explode right now, and it hasn't yet. Just let it sink in. Yes. Why am I Wikipedia?
And that forecast cone also shows Lake Okeechobee under tropical storm watch, but it was upgraded to a hurricane watch around 2 hours ago.
Yeah. So when the NHC they won't change the forecast cone, but they will change.
They might have done, but I guess maybe not. If it had upgraded to a warning, then they would.
Yeah. So they're not going to, during this next advisory, they're not going to change the forecast cone. They're just going to change the warnings, like the graphic showing the warnings. So this will be pink now instead of yellow.
Unless they decide to change it back, but I don't see why they would do that.
Yeah. And they'll also change the intensity, the forward speed, and
it would make
position.
sense, though, because everywhere else inside that cone was under a hurricane watch.
That would make sense. Just, where was that graphic I wanted to show? Dang it. That was. But yes, the advisory should be coming out in the next 10 to 20 minutes. So hopefully within this hour,
Yeah,
if not.
usually they do it a little bit late, especially with recon in there now. And just to let you know,
But-
Japan have labelled 2 new tropical depressions. I think both of the invests. They've called them both tropical depressions. Just so
There's-
everyone knows.
There's only one.
The one
this one.
near the Philippines, off to the northeast, and 94C. Yes.
Oh, they've named it, or have they made it a tropical
A
depression?
tropical depression, unnamed, but the 2 of them tropical depressions at this point. Just the
Well, this is
latest
the
there from
JMA of the
Japan.
It's at the JMA of the JCWC.
Japanese Meteorological Agency.
Okay, so the JMA.
The officials.
Officials. Pretty much. So yeah, those could. The next 2 names are Air. It's just Air, and Songda. I believe after Air. So yeah, Songda and Air. That's what's going on with, I guess, the Westpac situation. Apart from Chabba, Nicole, we haven't really looked at Nicole recently, but it has been getting a little bit better organized over the day. This morning, it was designated as a tropical storm.
Yeah, it's a tropical storm, all right.
It's a tropical storm now, but this morning it was a cloud. If they would have named it at the 5 o'clock advisory, I would have been okay with it. So it looks like a bona fide tropical storm now. Except it's gonna move. It's gonna keep moving northwest, and it's gonna get into this immense shear that's coming out of coming from the upper level ridge over Matthew right now.
Yeah, you just about see Matthew off to the bottom left.
Yeah, this is the outflow bands from Matthew, and that's pretty typical of really strong systems because what happens is you have when you get these strong systems, you get a little bit of an upper level high form over the system, so it creates a little bit of a clockwise loop or clockwise. Listen to me.
So Anthony wants to know what exactly are the chances of New York City being affected now.
Let's not go into a Sandy scenario.
Yeah, we don't know. I have to mute my mic real quick. So.
Well, you're looking at the latest radar imagery of the storm approaching land, which it still is, and getting closer every passing frame, but it's agonizingly slow, I guess.
Yeah.
Tropical Storm Nuke. That's you, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. You're in Orlando, you say?
Yes, I am.
So, is this true, how people all across Florida are emptying shelves everywhere now?
I haven't really been out to any stores recently, but I would see that some water shelves, some food shelves would be near empty at this point.
Bit soon, don't you think?
Bit soon for that, yeah.
Yeah, but you know how Floridians prepare. We're always sort of hyped for these storms.
So, let's just say that the storm does what it does, the National Hurricane Center predicts. What would you be doing?
Well, if school didn't get canceled, I'd be going to school, obviously, but if this track just shifts any more west, I could see school getting canceled, just in case. And just in case
Will you be
this
staying
scenario...
home?
Yes, probably.
Okay.
The only reason I could see for you evacuating is if the storm actually go to go over the Florida Peninsula.
As a major.
Not as a major, but as at least something. But yeah, let's check through comments, actual comments, not asking about U.S. impacts.
Hurricane Sandy's in the chat room now.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I'm just going to have to leave you guys for just a moment or two. I'm going to leave the radar on the screen, but I'll be right back.
Okay, we have a question from Sparrow C asking, has anyone heard of the if we have evacuations in Florida. I don't know about the. I don't think there are any voluntary evacuations in effect yet.
No.
Level mandatory evacuations, but I will suggest some things because I know we have a lot of viewers from Florida, as Florida and the Philippines are our two major view count sources for reasons that we all understand. Because the Philippines gets typhoons very often, they have been lucky this year, fortunately. But yes, if you live in the Miami area, just go west towards Naples, and you should be fine. If you live anywhere along the east coast of Florida, just go west. West of Palm Beach, Fort Myers, Fort Myers. God, I don't know. I messed that up earlier. Port St. Lucia. I don't know the pronunciation. Just keep going west towards Sarasota. That's the Sarasota area. Basically anywhere along the coast, just keep going west. Orlando, if you want to go west, that's fine. Tampa, just stay put. You'll be okay. On the Gulf Coast, not the Atlantic Coast, you should be fine. Jacksonville, just in case the system does come a little bit further north than expected, quicker than expected, excuse me, then just, if I-75 isn't just completely jam-packed with cars, then you can just go inland into Georgia or just west of Tallahassee, and you should be fine. Too early to tell what the actual impacts will be for the
Sparrow seems to be sending him increasingly random questions. If the hurricane breaks power lines and starts a fire, what do I do?
Run. But anyways, run. Stop, drop, and roll, kids. Stop, drop, and roll. Anyways.
Yeah, there's something like that.
What?
That 99 people were killed during Typhoon Tip, the only fatalities, and I think that was due to a fire, ironically. The strongest storm, the most intense storm ever, killed people, and it wasn't a direct result of the storm, necessarily.
Well, yeah,
Crazy.
Tip did move towards Japan, but,
It hit Japan.
It hit Japan. Its previous intensity to the west of the Mariana Islands was its own separate thing. And people do say that Tip is the strongest storm ever recorded. I would dispute that and say either Gay of 1992, Immature.
Oh, we've got a tornado warning.
Oh, we do?
Yes, we do.
You do?
So yeah, Gay of 1992 and Mike.
I'm on it.
Typhoon Gay.
I already got the radar.
Tornado warning for northeastern Clay, southeastern Washington, and northeastern Riley counties, and that was issued just over 5 minutes ago. And that is for those areas. What state is that?
That is
Oklahoma.
The state here.
That's northern Kansas, around the Clay Center.
I'll read it out. Okay. Apparently, it remains. There's been several tornado warnings because it says it remains in effect. So there has to have been one or two more tornado warnings. I'll just read it out for you guys. A tornado warning remains in effect until 7 o'clock p.m. CDT, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I can't do UTC calculations like Jason or Hank, excuse me. At 6:35 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Green, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Hazard, a tornado and golf ball size hail. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of northeastern Clay, southeastern Washington, not Washington, D.C., and northwestern Riley counties. Take cover now if you're in this area. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Hail is 1.75 inches, and the tornado was radar indicated.
So that's the latest with the tornado warning over there, and we'll keep you up to date on any more developments on that front. National Hurricane Center will be updating soon on Matthew, and we'll be across that whenever that happens, and we'll bring you the latest. Until then, there's not much to say. Any news from Recon? You're in the Force 13 control room, it seems. We're across everything right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just gonna check through the comments again. Okay. How much really is going on up here?
I
let's see.
recon.
CNHC updated. They
Oh,
have
they have?
not.
No.
They haven't.
This is of 740. Yep. Pressure 949 millibars in the eye, or near the eye.
So they're
At least
still
I-
getting the same pressure.
This was of 2339. UTC, I believe.
Not long ago.
Looks like they're making a turn. They're making a straight jog for Haiti or Cuba. Excuse me. Looks like they're going to Cuba. They're trying to find some form of an eye there.
Oh, well, they will. They'll find it.
Yeah, they definitely will.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
I mean, just on the National NOAA's webpage, and I just clicked on it randomly, and apparently, this is off topic, but it's apparently National Seafood Month.
Is it now?
Yeah, it is. It's on NOAA's website.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting a lot of notification on my phone about the whole clown thing going on in the U.S. It makes very little sense what's going on in this country anymore. Because apparently there's been around the country around the United States. There's been reports of clown sightings. It's been really friggin' weird, to be honest. Like, they're threatening people. They're threatening schools. 8 schools in my county got threatened by a clown today. Like threats. And it's very weird. I don't know if it has anything to do with Halloween or what, but it's just really...
Whatever it is, it's going to catch on over here, no doubt.
Yeah.
There's been some speculation in my county saying it could be some reboot of a movie called It. It's like some...
sense because it's like around the whole country.
Well,
but yeah,
let's just move away from the clowns. Let's just move away
from the clown. We're showing you the radar imagery of Hurricane Matthew making an inevitable, imminent landfall in Cuba.
The image of the tropical cyclones just got updated. Not the advisory, but just the image. Nicole at 50 miles an hour.
The National Hurricane Center have just issued an update saying what we've been saying for nearly 2 hours. A hurricane watch has been issued for Lake Okeechobee. Took them long enough. They've just come out with that.
Disturbance 1 still at 10-20% chance of formation. Nicole still moving northwest at 9 miles an hour. Matthew, 140 miles an hour and a pressure of 949 millibars, moving north at 9 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Did they increase the Eastern Pacific? This is at 11 a.m. This is way off.
The update.
11 a.m. Pacific, though, is it?
Yeah.
There's an update statement for parts. Oh wait, that's recent. For parts of the upcoming, advisory on Matthew. There's a little bit of an update statement, just saying, hurricane.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like Okeechobee, but that just came out like 5 minutes ago. So
yeah, they've issued that 5 minutes ago, but it's been knowledge to us for nearly 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what took them so long to tell everyone that the hurricane watch had come into effect, but that's true, and it's in effect for Lake Okeechobee. The update from NHC will be out at any time. We're joined by Strat.
Yeah, that and the answer is probably because we're, psychic voodoo people.
Alright.
We got our powers, so.
Well, good to see you back here. NHC,
likewise.
NHC has updated the disturbance, and nothing's changed. Still
I find
10:20.
that so strange.
Yep.
The National Hurricane Center issuing that update statement 15 minutes before they're due to do the update.
Who knows?
They've done it 20 minutes before, actually, one time.
This is 15.
Oh, that's good for them.
You thought
Yeah.
they could have waited, considering the information had been available for over an hour. I shouldn't harp on too much about all this, but you know, it's just
Matt?
some things that the NHC do that just really leave you scratching your head. But you know, the information's out there now.
Matthew's actually looking a little better on the rainbow.
It looks
I'll
like
bring it
it's
up.
northern eye is making landfall right now. Not just the eye wall, but the actual eye itself. It's coming over the very
Absolutely.
southeastern tip.
Let's see the radar. And my mouse is the center of the storm, and that's right off the coast. That is right off the coast, and you know that's close.
Yeah, the radar's the
Yeah.
best indication,
We
more than
should.
satellite, and I'm showing it almost all the time. So
So we should see it make a landfall in the next at least 20 minutes. I'd say.
well, I don't know the way it's been.
You could argue
going,
it's already
you're looking at-
You could argue it's already made landfall.
Nah,
Oh,
not by our definition. The edge of the eye has made landfall, but not the
Yeah.
eye. But
Daniel Anderson has asked a legitimate question.
oh yeah,
Wasn't Matthew a Category 5 a few days ago? Apparently it was. It was a Cat 5 for at least half an hour to 45 minutes. Not 6 hours like the NBC.
45 minutes according to Force 13 SatOps. It was Category 5. Some people on the team, some of them unable to make it this evening, unfortunately, disagree with that, and we might have a debate on that one in the future.
Yeah. Just saying Matthew was a very pathetic excuse for the end of the Cat 5 thing. And Hermine was a very pathetic excuse for an end to the Florida hurricane drought.
That
Yeah.
actually spawned a tornado warning for my area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what it didn't do much as a whole. Very little as a whole. Actually. And not many other questions I fear. It's just about the
Oh, that means we're doing well.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like, in my opinion, at least, what I think is the area where, like, at least a tropical storm watch should be in effect is the area where the map that shows, like, you know, the potential is over 50%. So at this point, coastal Georgia, in my opinion, should be under a tropical storm watch. That's, I guess you could call it an update. I don't really know. But based off of the 5 o'clock tropical storm force wind speed probabilities for the next 5 days, I do think they should be under watch. And like what happened, like I thought it this morning, 3 hours after I saw it, they were put under a watch. So in Florida, so I would not be surprised if watches started popping up on coastal Georgia in the next 7 minutes
Real
to
quick.
3 hours.
Real quick, I'm going to be gone for at least the next 20 minutes, so but I'll be right back. Before I leave, Recon has found at least. Oh, I can't read that. Does that say? It says 948.8 millibars, I believe that says.
Okay, that would make sense.
Okay, and the NHC has not updated yet. It probably won't.
No,
Yeah, they're gonna be
gonna
milking
time
data.
it to perfection, I think.
Yeah.
It might be a little late again because they're just trying to get as much data out of
It
that
could
plane.
be.
Well, just something
True.
really quick. The disturbance one has been updated. It's still 10, 20, 10%, 20% of
Right.
disturbance one. Nicole and Matthew have not been updated
Yep.
as of yet.
Nicole won't be.
Nope, that one
Yeah, 'cause
hasn't
it's not
started
for it.
another 3 hours.
Yep, and more questions about Florida.
You're not going to escape them, Hank.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, there's going
We
to be
don't-
lots of questions. This advisory.
Here's your answer. We don't know. I've been looking at any of the questions and I can already answer them.
Will Matthew
well,
Matthew pose any threats to Louisiana, Texas, or Panama?
I think that means Panama.
Yeah, I think that too.
Actually,
No, no, and no.
I saw a question about Panama actually. It's like,
Unless the ECWF is, or at least unless the NAVGEM's right and then some.
Yeah.
Which is pretty unlikely.
Panama.
I don't know
so-
what Panama.
Panama City? Who knows?
Oh, no, it said Panama Peninsula.
It said Panana.
Whatever.
Banana. Oh boy.
Someone asked
typo.
about the update on the hurricane watches. They've actually I think all of them have remained in place, and actually there's been some extensions up through all of central Oklahoma now.
I think the advisory's
for
out.
tornadoes.
Yep, advisory's out. The advisory's out.
It has been
Oh,
issued.
breaking news.
All
No
right.
change. There's no change, but I'll look at the location.
And have not made any changes beyond that hurricane watch, which we knew about over an hour ago. So, with that, no real news, and we're going to go off to a break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Stay tuned.
I'm gonna.